I had 3 strokes, put in applications in several different buildings for seniors. The president was the first one actually to call me. I moved here, it was completely different than it is now. But I started noticing several different things, like vending machines being vandalized and people jimmying the door so they could get in. One day they shot a guy out on the corner. First thing he does is run in this building. That puts us all in jeopardy when they do things like that. Not that I think I'm better than anybody, but I have lived better than this. And just because I'm retired now, I shouldn't have to totally diminish my standard of living.
Stephen Sanders has lived with the president for 7 years. His concerns about safety and maintenance were also shared by residents at the Redding, another CMHA property just a few miles away.
I had a surgery that went wrong. I owned my own home. I had 2 cars. I had a great full-time job with benefits. Woke up from surgery, knew something was wrong, had to file for disability. Do I feel safe here? No. At 2 o'clock in the morning, I've been woken up, somebody fiddling with my door. You know, I've had to take him out at 10:30 at night, and I find people roaming the hallway that I just know for a fact do not live in the building. You've got elderly people in here with wheelchairs and walkers and canes and oxygen. Come on. There's a lot of health issues. There's a smell that comes from the vents. It's like something is decaying inside the walls. The roaches are ridiculous. The bed bugs are ridiculous. And when you call the maintenance or the office, you get a work order, and honestly, God only knows when they're going to get out to you.
When an issue arises, residents are required to file a work order, which then gives CMHA 30 days to respond. Residents told WCPO they're doing their part, but CMHA is not. Stephen Sanders and his neighbor gave us a tour of the president to point out some of the ongoing issues they've discovered over the years. They first took us to a room in the basement where we were greeted by a strong sewage smell.
It's a backed up sewer drain in the kitchen.
In the kitchen.
Oh, gosh.
I've been here 9 years, and it's been like that every year.
So that's how people sneak in through that window?
It looks like you can't get in, but coming from outside in, you can.
On this pipe that's right by this, is this kind of a typical repair? This tape on this pipe?
No,
That's just old.
Getting old now.
It was probably leaking, and they put that crap on there. You know, what it's gonna do is make that peel off. And then a few months ago, I was washing clothes. I always leave my laundry basket there. I left it in here and somebody stole it. I said, why would you take my laundry basket? I've been washing down here 7 years. No problem.
According to CEO Gregory Johnson, CMHA has completed more than 300,000 work orders in just the past 3 years. Johnson told WCPO work orders are answered promptly and safety concerns are taken seriously, but budget cuts make maintenance issues difficult to tackle.
The biggest challenge that we have here is funding. Over the last 5 to 10 years, the funding, it's been more like a barometer. I would say since I've been here, based on the funding that we should be getting, we've gotten less, and we've been shorted about $13 million.
And with the new administration making major changes to HUD's operations, more cuts could soon follow.
HUD's changing. So HUD's changing the way that they're doing business, and we have to then take those changes and then communicate those changes locally.
Most CMHA properties were constructed in the 1940s, which makes repairs inevitable. Outsiders are also taking note.
All public housing is under threat. Congress has never put enough money into the program, and plumbing gets old, windows wear out, appliances wear out, floors wear out, electrical systems wear out, and those things have to be replaced from time to time. And we're at a critical point now with public housing just in Cincinnati, where in many of these 5,000 units, there is a need for major renovation.
But federal officials say they have a solution. A new program called RAD will allow landlords like CMHA to get funding from private investors, which would help make up for slashed budgets. Currently, CMHA gets its money from two ways, taking 30% of residents' income and federal funds. CMHA has an estimated $200 million in backlogged repairs. Officials say privatizing funds could help them get caught up. While it's not clear when CMHA will adopt the RAD program, some residents are weary of these changes. In the past, changes have meant displacement.
The problem with RAD is they're trying to bring in private investors. And if you're taking public housing and or subsidized housing and trying to bring in private owners, then you're privatizing it. Who knows, when they make those changes with the different funding, it may not be 30% anymore. It may be 35%.
Aside from safety and building issues and looming federal changes ahead, another barrier for public housing residents can be the stigmas that follow them.
Subsidized housing does not mean sub-educated or sub-knowledgeable, because my finances has nothing to do with my intelligence.
Some residents are challenging those stereotypes. A group of residential council presidents known as JRAB came together to create a business resource center at the Stanley Row Towers. There, residents and their families can get the training and skills needed to create their own businesses or interview for jobs.
This is the Business and Service Coordination Center. We was able to get this center from Dr. Pashi writing in for the Ross Grant. In working with getting your resident-owned businesses in place is registering with the city as well as registering with CMHA. And I have actually gone through the entire process.
It's the first of its kind for CMHA, and it's already helping to change lives.
They're here to help us do that for those of us who want to be entrepreneurs. Give it a last shot. I'm sure I've got enough of 20 plus more years in me. I can have a business and make it happen. So.
And now I got my business reestablished through JRAB. I just got my degree in the mail. I'm 59 years old, 25 grandchildren. I just finished college, and now I'm going to get my business back off the ground. And in the end, what we all will be able to tell our children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren about our endeavor and our accomplishment as a resident in CMHA.
There are different reasons why people end up in public housing. Most of those we spoke with said it was the last place they expected to be. But as officials continue to sort through federal changes and a growing list of work orders, residents feel forgotten, and they hope someone is listening.
I don't understand. Do you care so little about your fellow man that it's okay with you that people are living in these conditions? It's wrong.
Slowly but surely they do something, but it's never enough and it's never soon enough. I just need more things to get done before somebody gets hurt. A lot of people don't feel safe living here. It's kind of sketchy for me. I really don't feel safe, but I'm not afraid.